Junkies and pros, what you're looking at right now is a workout called Skewed. We are going to be doing this 3 times throughout the month of December, and it's going to allow me to test run 3 separate formulas for a new scoring system, just a very slight change in things. It's going to allow me to also consider junkies' forms based on their overall performance in the past, their last 30 days, which is also known as their form badge, and then how they complete and execute all the tasks on that given exercises for that specific day. So it is a checklist of 30 exercises that you'll do 1 through 30, 1 through 30, 1 through 30. There are 4 different things that we are critiquing. One is effort, one is integrity, the other is awareness, and the final one is willingness. Effort is something that is definitely subjective. It's really based on how well you, the pro, know your clients and the members. So if somebody's pretty new, you're going to have to allow them a lot of leeway. But I don't want the word effort to be construed as, I don't want to say the word lazy, or effort is not based on like how many exercises you can do in such given time. We're talking about effort in quality, not quantity. So for instance, if you know somebody's regularly scoring in the 900s, but it looks like their cadence or their pace is a little bit slower and maybe they're taking more breaks, that doesn't mean that they're not necessarily putting forth effort. Maybe they're putting forth more effort into their actual form. So really think about awarding people credit for effort based on their form, not really their physical output. Okay, just how much they're really being particular with the various movements that they're doing, trying to do it to the full range of motion and to the best of their ability. Integrity is the easiest one to spot. If somebody who has been doing it, I'd say 1 or 2 days, they should know for sure they should be going line to line, never stopping short of the line, particularly on things like lunges or things like hikes if they're kicking the plate just to the line or whatever. Things like that. Integrity is something that should be a blatant infraction. Or if they're skipping reps, even if they're skipping 1 or 2 reps on something like quick feet, if you notice this, this should be not considered to have integrity. The other thing is awareness. Awareness is another thing that's very, very subjective. And I'm going to get to something else that we're also going to add into this in a second. But awareness is, regardless of how long you've been doing it, how well the person performs score-wise, he or she may think they're doing a hang 10 or a squat jump or croak-in or even curl walks or anything like that, trombone. They may think that they're doing the exercise correctly, and they feel like they're doing it, but they really aren't, and their biomechanics are off. And unless they had an actual mirror set up next to them, and or you're sitting there holding their hand the entire time, they would not know that they are doing the exercising correctly. Another part of awareness is if they're really, really fatigued. If you notice that their form on their first rep of a certain exercise, or maybe their first or second or third task is completely different form-wise because they're tired and they get sloppy, that's also a lack of awareness. I personally think of awareness as proprioception, which is just awareness of body movements or your limbs, actually how they're moving. You want to make sure that their first rep is as good as their last rep is as good as their first rep. Can you tell if these people have that awareness? Willingness is simply if you go to correct, as a pro, if you go to correct a member's form, if they actually try to take in that knowledge that you're trying to give them and to try to use that new technique or that new form modification that the pros are giving. Are they conscientiously trying to strive to do better, or do they shrug it off and try to just keep it on to keep a higher score? A lot of people won't even have something that you're critiquing, but if you have the chance to do so, you'll be able to tell how willing they are to implement your suggestions, and or if you've asked them, countless times in the past to get their arms out on something like a cyclone or a bully, and you know full well that you've explained that, this is something that should also be kind of held into consideration. Now, the actual picture that I'm showing you right now, I went through and I kind of labeled each exercise which ones you're really going to be paying attention to. For instance, quick feet, I have integrity and effort. I mean, not a lot can go wrong on quick feet or from an effort or an integrity standpoint. But if people are not clearing the line and they're just doing little baby steps, that's kind of like a little bit of effort, not max effort. And integrity would just be, not at all like doing the correct amount of reps. But if you skip down, the ones with the A's, which is a majority of them, is awareness. Things like swagging. Are their elbows close, or are their elbows pinned to their body? Are they swagging to the right way? Jiggy, are they kicking through? Gorgons, are they doing a full squat? Curl walks, mantis, are they going slow enough? Are they pushing off the back foot on scuffle? I mean, all of these exercises were picked for a reason. Halo is a big one. Are they doing enough reps? 36 plus reps. I stress the plus because just because you do 3 reps in between each line doesn't mean that you get to hold it over your head without doing continuous reps. It's 36 plus. That's the minimum you should be able to do, or you should be doing in a halo. Okay? So, knowing all this, what I want to stress is that this is not just for the pros to come down, critique, and grade the members. What I'm also adding to this, and it's not necessarily in the motherboard sheet that is published, is pro accountability. This is also a chance for you, the pro, to evaluate yourself. So you have these 4 criteria in which you can grade your class or each one of your individuals. But I also want you to look at it through the lens of, okay, does squat thrust, is this person aware of their lack of squat on the squat thrust because of me, because I haven't taught them correctly? And if so, then you need to make a mark on that sheet and say, you could like give them like a slide or a pass because they were not taught correctly the first time. Okay, so if they have not done or not been taught or just simply, I guess, I don't want to say naive or just they just didn't know the correct movement or what it's supposed to feel like, this gives you the opportunity to teach the right movements and correct it going forward. Then when we do the skewed workout, 2 other times later in the month, and they go ahead and they participate in this, you'll be able to hopefully see an improvement in their form. So to be clear, this is a chance for us to evaluate members and for our staff to evaluate themselves and or their peer staff members in case maybe it's a new staff member that's kind of taking on some of the old junkies that have been under the tutelage of somebody else for a while now. But the point is not to be calling people out. It's pretty much to make sure we're all streamlining the exercises. We're all holding ourselves to the highest standard possible. And just for clarity's sake, I want to make sure that people or trainers know how to actually fill out these forms. You're just putting the name of the individual. The form badge is the day that they're working out doing skewed. Find the individual's badge out of 30. So maybe they have a 26 form points out of 30. All you have to do is write 26. Do not include what it is that they're getting today. For the other 4, effort, integrity, awareness, and willingness, you could either put a check mark or leave it blank. You could put yes, yes, no, yes, whatever it is you want to do. That is not terribly important what the mark is, as long as I see for sure what it is. And then the pre-skewed ROQ, write in the number that they would have gotten. Do not enter it into the system. Just write in the number that they would have gotten and then send me a picture of it to hackit@sightfasttraining.com. I will take it from there because I'm crunching it through 3 separate formulas, and I will go ahead and post the scores within the next 24 hours for everyone. If somebody wants to opt out of this, maybe somebody, a member does not want to be that critiqued, so be it. They can just opt out of it. They won't get the extra bonus points, but that's part of it, I guess. If you don't want to get the criticism, you don't get the bonus points that come with it. So be it. That's fine. And some people, they're just there for the workout, and that's cool too. But for me, it's just I'm trying to maybe just refine the numbers a little bit and give credit where credit's due, specifically on some of the form stuff. Again, this is all trial stuff, trial runs, ironing out some of the potential kinks in the system, and this is nothing that I'm going to implement in the immediate future. I'm just testing out some things. And then the other thing is if somebody wants to see like exactly, okay, I'm working out at St. Clair Shores and Emily's my pro. If I want to know what Emily thinks about my effort, integrity, awareness, and willingness, you're more than welcome to sit down with the pro and go over those things, because I think that'll just open up a dialogue between you and your pro or your coach or however you see them, and figure out where it is that you can improve. Because I think again the goal here is quantity, or not quantity, quality over quantity, and we don't want to lose sight of the number one thing, which is form. So if you have any other questions, please leave it on this thread. I will try to answer it to the best of my ability, and we will go from there. Have a good one, guys.